What's going on, everyone out there in YouTube land? Today we're going to check out a hybrid mechanical mod and an RDA, both coming from Ronin mods. Today we're going to check out the new Ronin X2 basic 21700 mechanical mod and the new Ronin X2 RDA. Got it built with a dual tri-core fuse Clapton from Coilology, ohming out to a 0.1 21700 battery, loaded up with some of the strawberry milk from Emergency Vape Stash. Very good stuff. Let's have a quick vape, shall we? And we'll talk about the Ronins. Delicious, delicious. Now, mechanical mod. Designed in the United States, manufactured in the United States. So says the website. RDA, designed in the States, manufactured in China. So we have all US, a little bit of US, and a little bit of China. Price tag on the device, if you go with the brass or the copper, you're looking at $159. If you go with the all black, you're looking at $169. And if you upgrade to the button that has the Ronin logo with the American flag, you're looking at around $194. The RDA, since it is manufactured in China, price tag will be a little bit lower on this. This one's going for around $39. So all Ronin mechanical mods will come with this really nice, heavy-duty, rugged, waterproof, Pelican-style case. Love these cases for storing expensive devices, camera equipment, etc., etc. It does have an adjustable wrist strap at the bottom. If we pop open the case, you will get your mechanical device, in this case, the X2 Basic. They will include an authenticity card that will show the model, the material. Yours will have a serial number, date, and then on the back we have some warning information, battery orientation, along with the website. Now the X2 is available in naval brass that you see here. It also comes in all copper, and it also comes in an all black finish. The new X2 measures 27 millimeters in diameter, total height 99 millimeters tall. Now if you guys remembered the original basic that I reviewed, same mod. The only difference here is the original one used 18650 batteries, and the new X2, it can use either 18650 with the battery adapter, 2700 or 21700. You will get a 18650 battery adapter inside the box. For some reason, I can't seem to locate mine, but you will get an adapter inside the box. Along the top, we're going to have your removable hybrid 510 top cap. And as you guys can see here, I can unscrew it. And we have a piece of Delrin on the inside for a little bit of extra protection. Now, the device measures 27 millimeters in diameter, but the top cap has a little bit of a bevel on it, so it's going to look good with atomizers up to 25 millimeters. If we screw down the RDA that they tossed in, that we're going to review in a moment, the X2 RDA, which is 25 millimeters, you'll see that it lines up beautifully with that little bevel. Now, I don't know if I want to call this X2 RDA hybrid safe. We'll talk about why in a moment. But you want to make sure that you're using an RDA that has a protruding 510 pin. Like here on the Nada RDA, you can see it does stick out quite a bit. And that pin will come in direct contact with your battery. So the way you want to set this up is you want to screw the atomizer to the top cap first. Very important. Take your choice of battery, positive down, pop it in. And all your battery adjustment will be done using the top cap. You don't need to use your button. You don't need to adjust any insulator. Doesn't matter what size battery you're using. Doesn't matter how long your 510 pin is. Every atomizer will sit flush and you'll have absolutely no battery rattle. So as you turn this, it's going to tighten up and just snug it up there. There we go. Everything's nice and tight inside there. No battery rattle. Working our way down, we have a single one-piece brass battery tube. All one solid piece, no breaks, no threads, which means very little voltage drop. We do have the Ronin logo machined into the side of the tube, and I believe the black one does not have any logoing. It's going to be just an all black look. Only the brass and the copper one, I believe, have the Ronin logo. There is no ventilation on the tube itself. All the ventilation will be done through the actual switch. Now, this is the standard switch. And for a few dollars more, you can upgrade it to the switch that has the American flag Ronin logo on it that you see there on the older one. Now this is a recessed switch, which means there's no locking feature, but the button is recessed, so if you stand it upright, it's not going to, you know, fire automatically. And the throw on here, very nice throw, very comfortable magnetic button. You could press it in the center, press it on the side, doesn't really matter. Nice chunky brass housing. The threads on here are beautiful. And if we unscrew the button, very simple design, just like the original. A silver-plated contact in the center. There's going to be your ventilation ports. There's 3, and I did blow through the tube to check for ventilation. It does work, no problem. And if you want to disassemble the switch, pretty easy. All you're going to do is just remove that flathead, that silver contact right there. And once removed, your button will pop out of the housing. Be careful because there are some pretty strong magnets on the inside. There's one magnet right there, pretty damn chunky, and there's another larger one on the inside. I'm not going to pop it out because it's a pain to get back in, but once again, machine work on this is just outstanding. Beautiful machine work. And what I like about this button is that we have these little grooves that lock the button into place. And what's nice about this is that it prevents the button from spinning. Over time, some devices that have the button that spins, it will loosen up the contact, and you have to keep going inside there and tightening down your contact. But on this style button, because we have those grooves right there, it's not going to end up spinning. And if we have a quick look inside the battery tube, you'll see that we do have a protection sleeve on the inside that I believe is made of Delrin. I'm not sure. But this protection sleeve is actually going to help with any damaged batteries. So always check your batteries for damaged wrappers. But we all know that sometimes one might slip by, and if it does for any reason, this sleeve on the inside will help protect the battery from touching the side of the tube. You can see it goes all the way down, and you can remove that. Just pop it out with your finger, and they do actually sell replacement sleeves if needed. So that's pretty much going to be it, guys, for the Ronin X2 Basic. Let's have a quick look at the Ronin X2 RDA. So inside the canister, you will get the X2 RDA that will include 2 A10 drip tips, spare parts bag. You'll get O-rings, extra post screws, a negative screw, standard 510 pin, and a bottom feeding 510 pin. The X2 is constructed of all stainless steel. It's available in 4 different color options, and I did make a mistake earlier. This is not a 25mm, it is a 24mm RDA, but it still lines up perfectly with the X2 Basic mechanical mod. At the top, you'll get 2 A10 drip tips. You'll get this fat, low-profile Delrin 810 drip tip, and they will toss in a acrylic 810 drip tip. There is no 510 option, but you can use all your own standard 810 drip tips with no problem. Now the X2 can be used in either dual coil mode or single coil mode because we can actually close off one of the air holes. Each air hole measures roughly 8mm each, and if you're going to run it in dual coil mode, you can turn the airflow control ring, which is really tight, and open up both air holes. Make sure you juice up the O-ring, but the tension on the O-rings, I will say, is beautiful once they're juiced up. X2 logo on the front, and then at the bottom, we're going to have your gold-plated 510 pin. They do include the bottom feeding pin. Now, they do state this is a hybrid safe atomizer, but in my opinion, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, but that's okay, I don't feel very safe using this as a hybrid. So for those out there that are not familiar with the way hybrids work, the center gold screw that you see there, that's your positive. And the threads around that gold screw are your negative. With a hybrid connection, that positive screw comes in direct contact with the battery when you screw it into the mod. So it looks kind of like that. And what you don't want happening is you don't want the negative and the positive to touch the battery at the same time. And you could see that very little gap right there. That's what's preventing this thing from shorting out. And I just don't feel safe because I don't think that this pin is protruding far enough to my liking. I feel a little bit more comfortable using an atomizer that has a protruding 510 pin, not just because it's the NADA, but just because it sticks out quite a bit. And most hybrid atomizers will have a protruding 510 pin that looks exactly like that. So, in my opinion, the 510 pin on this one is just a little bit too short for my liking. If we have a look at the top cap, it is a 2-piece top cap with a single O-ring at the top. There's going to be your 3 air holes. Once again, single coil, dual coil. Machine work is actually really nice for coming out of China. no sharp edges. Here's a look at the barrel section. Fairly decent thickness on the stainless steel. And if we have a look at the build deck, the build deck on here is going to be pretty basic, nothing really too out of this world, but we have a 22.5 millimeter all stainless steel build deck, gold-plated screws, gold-plated clamps, gold-plated posts. The only thing that's not gold-plated is the juice well. We got these really large flathead grub screws that have knurling along the sides, and we have gold-plated clamps, and as you can see there, as you raise the clamp, you can push your wire in there, and those clamp openings are huge, 3.5 by 4 millimeter. And if I remove one of these post screws, just to show you guys what it looks like when you remove the clamp, look how large that post hole is. It's gigantic. The juice well on here, a little shallow, about 4 millimeters deep, but that's pretty standard for an RDA like this. And we do have the peak insulator separating the positive from the negative with a dual O-ring setup, which makes it a really nice tight fit with the top cap. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. I can show you guys the build that I've been using. We're not going to do a build on this one because it's very simple. But here's my tri-core fuse Clapton setup. And that's going to be it, guys, for the up close and personal with the X2 Basic and the X2 RDA. Let's jump back up and let's have a vape, shall we? So let's talk a little bit about the Ronins. Starting off with the RDA. Now the obvious, we already talked about it, the 510 pin, to my liking, is just too short to safely use on a hybrid connection full time. Like I said, I've been using it for a few weeks. I'm using it now on a hybrid connection, but I was not aware of how short that pin was. Now, I've seen a mechanical mod completely explode about 10 feet in front of me one time, and ever since then, I've just been really all about safety when it comes to mech mods. And for that reason, I just would not feel safe using these particular atomizers with that short 510 pin on a hybrid. I know you guys would do it. I know you guys probably feel comfortable, and for that reason, do what you want to do. Just be careful is all I got to say. Now, it is made in China, but it does not take away from the build quality. The build quality on here is fantastic. The drip tips are a little bit low profile for my liking, but then again, it is a cloud blowing RDA, so I expect low profile tips. You can run it in single or dual coil, which a lot of people will like. You can use it on your squonk device with the included bottom feeding pin. Building it is a breeze. Huge post holes. You can fit anything you want inside of this build deck. The juice well is a little shallow, but the vape and the airflow are amazing. It's a really basic run-of-the-mill RDA, but it performs well. I like basic. I'm a basic kind of bitch, but a lot of people I know are looking for something a little bit more modern, but for what it is, it's a really good RDA, just not really recommended for hybrid use, in my opinion. My opinion only. Now, the X2. I first got introduced to Ronin mods back when I reviewed the original 18650. Blown away by the packaging, the presentation, the machine work. This mod was beautiful. It hit hard, performed well, and with the popularity of the 21700s, especially in the mech world, why not come out with the X2? Using the purple vape cell batteries in here with the dual tri-core fuse Clapton, this thing hits like a goddamn truckload of dicks. Is that how they say it? Truckload of dicks? Freight train? However, I can actually take a long pull on this and dry the cotton out, which I can't do with an 18650. The battery doesn't drop off as quick as the 18650 does, and it just performs so damn well. The insulator underneath the hybrid top cap is a little bit extra piece of safety along with the sleeve that's inside the tube. I do like that. Single tube design, silver plated contacts, hybrid connection, all work together in providing very little voltage drop. Nice smooth button, very little throw, no issues with the button whatsoever. I love the fact that I can adjust for battery adjustment with the top cap. I don't need to take off the switch, adjust the insulator, break out a screwdriver, worry if my battery's too long, if my pin's too long. Everything works, sits flush, and it performs well. This is a go. I do have a complaint actually. Hold on, it's brass. It stinks. It does smell, I will say that. So if you're not a fan of that odor, brass and copper might be out of the question. They do have the black one, but if you don't mind the brass kind of smell, some people enjoy it. It's beautiful. It is extremely nice, and for that reason, I will definitely give it a thumbs up. So the X2 right there, awesome device. The RDA is awesome, but not really my recommendation for probably best hybrid atomizer. That's it. That's all I got for you guys today on the Ronin family. If you have any comments or questions, you know exactly what to do. Please feel free to click the subscribe button. I'll be very happy if you do. Other than that, that's it. We're out of here. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Make sure you guys build safe. And as always, vape on!